What happens when our hurts become habits and we realize we don't have to face them alone? Today, we are in San Lucas Tolimán on the shores of Lake Atitlán. Not just to take in the beauty, but to serve. We're here because struggles with addiction and destructive habits affect people everywhere. And in some communities, the way of history and hardship can make those struggles even harder. But this isn't a story about problems. It's a story about hope, community, and the power of saying, I want to change. Randy and I traveled about 2.5 hours to San Lucas Tolimán to participate in a community training event introducing Celebrate Recovery, a Christ-centered program designed to help people overcome their hurts, hang-ups, and habits.
Well, welcome to another episode of Ruts and Rocks.
Driving for hours and hours just to get to a place where we can be used, where we can be of hope and light to someone out there. We invited our friend Miguel Angel to come along with us and learn more about the ministry. But for us, this wasn't just another trip. It was another opportunity to make memories with people who share a passion for serving others. And of course, whenever we travel, there's always time to enjoy God's incredible creation. I don't think we'll ever get tired of looking at this lake.
Randy is about to go.
All right.
What struck me the most about this gathering was the diversity of the people in the room. There were Indigenous community members, doctors practicing medicine in nearby towns, Celebrate Recovery leaders from San Diego, California, a recovery group from San Pedro Sula, Honduras, and Randy and I representing Celebrate Recovery here in Antigua, Guatemala. Different countries, different cultures, different experiences, different stories, but one common desire to help people find freedom and become the people God created them to be.
When care is heavy and getting heavier still.
Our role was to answer questions, share our passion for this ministry, and explain what is called a step study. This process typically takes 6 to 12 months. It isn't a quick fix, it's a journey. Participants work through the 12 steps while examining the hurts, habits, and hang-ups that have shaped their lives. And something important happens along the way. We don't just address the obvious destructive behaviors. We begin looking at who we are becoming. One of the words that keeps coming back to me is integrity.
From the outside looking in, if you compare the recovery, a Christ-centered recovery versus a secular.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, your higher power can, whatever it is, whatever you choose it to be, can lead you out of the addiction. But does it work on all the other character defects? I find that it's a Christ-centered recovery using 12 steps and Christ-centered biblical comparisons, principles. In my life, has helped me, if you think of a bicycle with 100 spokes, get that bicycle wheel to really spin true. So the Bible, it helps us lead a more honest life and a more Christ-like, a true north, a true centered life.
Even if you don't fine-tune those spokes, right, it would still work, but it wouldn't be working at its optimal
Correct.
potential. I think that's what God wants to do with us. There's a lot of processes that we need to go through to tighten up those spokes, and all of them. And sometimes we're just fixed on fixing this one problem, which is probably the biggest problem that we need to work on anyways.
Well, that's where recovery does.
Right.
You first things first. Whatever brought you to that emergency room of recovery, that's the thing you need to work on first.
Yeah.
It's called integrity. Christ is the measurement.
Those are some pretty high standards.
And that's where hope comes in.
As I look around at this incredible, diverse group of people, I started thinking about something. Diversity, inclusion, and equity weren't human inventions. Look at God's creation.
Time for heaven, 6, 7, I'm leaving. Demons negotiate, but my soul only wants to levitate. Push pull at heaven's gate. No time to wait.
There isn't just one kind of plant. There are thousands upon thousands, trees, flowers, vegetables, vines, moss, different shapes, different sizes, different purposes, and yet they work together within an incredible system. Some provide shade, some provide nourishment, some protect the soil, some produce fruit, some return nutrients to the earth, some grow tall, others grow close to the ground. Different doesn't mean unnecessary.
Cool. We've never been here before.
I want to go look at that field because we've never been this way before.
Look beneath the surface and you see something even more amazing. Roots, connected, searching for nourishment.
Under the dirt, they are all connected, touching roots with each other, providing nourishment to each other and protection to the little ones. All of this is part of the same system of roots. Could you believe that? It's amazing.
That made me think about us. We need each other. None of us was designed to walk through life completely alone. The strong help protect the vulnerable. The mature help guide the young. We warn one another about danger. We provide encouragement when someone is weak. We share what we have learned.
Gracias. We are different in so many ways. There's power and there's healing in the community of people who are like-minded. Gotta be choosy though. Not everyone qualifies.
And when something in our lives begins to decay, healthy relationships can help turn that brokenness into something new.
There's no cover. If you're out there, there's nowhere to run. If there's an enemy or some kind of predator, and that's where I was.
As we get older, we begin to see the value of our experiences, both the good and the painful. Even our mistakes can become lessons. And what once caused us pain can be used by God to help others. That's one of the gifts of aging, turning our past into wisdom for someone else. Because of that, the older generation has a responsibility, not to have all the answers, but to walk alongside those coming behind us and say, I've been there. I've made mistakes. I've learned. Let me walk with you. That's what we hope to offer in San Lucas Tolimán. Not perfection, but presence. Not one-time event, but ongoing relationships and a willingness to return and continue serving as needed.
How far would you travel to go to a meeting?
Well, we've done a few hours sometimes, right?
Okay, so the answer is a couple of hours. Our question to our family online is, how far are you willing to drive to maintain your health, maintain your recovery?
Before we go, if you enjoy our videos, please give us a like. It may seem like a little small thing, but it helps the YouTube algorithm. Share our videos with people who may need a little encouragement.
Take you here.
Here. Right here.
God, thank you for giving us opportunities to change. Thank you for showing us that our pain, our shortcomings, and even our imperfections can become encouragement to someone else. Thank you for the wisdom that comes through experience and the grace that comes from you. Help us to take what we have learned and pour it into the lives of others. Help us to become people who encourage rather than discourage, to build rather than tear down, who serve rather than simply receive. And remind us that what you have done in us, you can do in others. Thank you for your love that surpasses all understanding. Give us strength, wisdom, and humility to continue doing the work you have placed before us. Amen. Sometimes the greatest legacy we can leave isn't what we accumulated, it's what we gave away.